here is our timeline for our Timeline Tuesday. I've turned my page sideways right there. I drew that line going right across that red line. I'm going to write my events up top, and down below I have a lot of space to include information, because every time we do this, we're going to add to it until we're going to see how everything's connected, and we're going to have a whole lot of information right here. So with our timeline, we have 7 dates that we need to know. So we're going to go ahead and put down 7 lines for us right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just like that. All right, with your timeline, we have a mnemonic phrase. And in this mnemonic phrase, for each word, the first letter of each word is the first letter for each event. So it helps us a whole lot. And it goes like this. My cat just vomited. My cat just vomited purple marshmallows after riding carousels. My cat just vomited purple marshmallows after riding carousels, licking purple colored water. Super gross. So a cat's on there, it's spinning, and it gets sick, and then we all know what cats like to do. They go back and lick it up. Really gross, but that's going to help you. My cat just vomited purple marshmallows after riding carousels, licking purple colored water. All right, that MC right there is none other than the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta is a document going all the way back to 1215 in England, and we're going to see how that influences us all the way to the Civil War. All right, Magna Carta 1215. JV is none other than Jamestown, Virginia. Our first permanent English colony is founded in 1607. PM is going to be Plymouth, Massachusetts, which is going to be founded in 1620 by our Puritans. The AR is American Revolution. That starts July 4th, 1776, and it ends with the Treaty of Paris in 1783. The C is going to be the Constitution, our framework of government that is written in 1787. LP, we learned about this last year. We know it. We remember it. It doubles the size of the United States. The Louisiana Purchase happens in 1803. And then CW is none other than Civil War. It's going to start in 1861 and it ends 1861 and it ends in 1865 right there. All right, so we have this timeline. It's not just about knowing the events and knowing the dates. It is seeing how it is all connected. And so let's see that right now. We're going to start with the Magna Carta. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit so that you can see it a little bit better right there. Hopefully this will help us. We're going to concentrate on the Magna Carta, Jamestown, Virginia, and Plymouth, Massachusetts on this timeline. Magna Carta 1215. You might say, but hey, that is way before the founding of Jamestown, Virginia. Why am I starting there? Because when the colonists go to Jamestown, Virginia, they don't just have they have ideas already. They have ideas in their brain. They already know what they want. They've been living in England. They've had a government. So when they show up in Jamestown, Virginia, they already have an idea of what their government should be like, what their rights are. And so the Magna Carta 1215 gave the idea of limited government. Limited government means that the government must follow the laws that they create. The king and parliament cannot just do whatever they want. They have to follow the laws too. They have to follow the rules. So in 1607, when the colonists go to Jamestown, Virginia for, right there, economic reasons, I got to change that to a $sign right there. They go to Jamestown, Virginia for economic reasons. They say, okay, we know we have limited government, But we look around, we decide instead of going back to England, we're going to stay. Remember, they came to Jamestown, Virginia to find gold, economic. They don't find it, but they decide to stay anyways. What do they plant that helps them survive? Tobacco. And when they plant tobacco, they survive. The colony is going to prosper. And they say, you know what? We don't have a king here. We don't have parliament here. So we need to have representatives who are going to help us, and they actually start with deciding the price of tobacco. And so we want to make sure people have a voice. We're going to elect representatives. So they have that idea of limited government. We're going to add to it with representative government. And we're writing it out right now. We don't normally write it out after the first time. So this is our first time, so we're going to write it out. So they're going to have representative government. We know that they have representative government because they had the House of Burgesses. If you remember, they elect people to the House of Burgesses to be their voice. Of course, when we say representative government, what are we really talking about them being? We are talking about them being a republic. This is so easy to remember because republic, R-E-P, representative government, right there in our House of Burgesses. So then in 1620, when the Puritans go to Plymouth, Massachusetts, why do they go? Oh, religion, right there. Turn that T to a cross. They go for religious freedom. When they go to Plymouth, Massachusetts, they say, okay, we have limited government. We also have representative government. That's coming over. Remember, they bring it with them. They bring that idea. We're going to add to it because there's nobody here to stop us. And we are going to have self-government. We are going to take it upon ourselves. Sorry, I was going to put an S and a G. Self-government. We're going to take it upon ourselves to have this government. We are going to create a civil body politic. Okay, how do we know they do that? Because before they get off the boat, they are going to sign the Mayflower Compact. In this Mayflower Compact, they want to make sure everybody has a voice, that everybody gets to be heard, that they get to vote, and this is, of course, a democracy. And so we can already see this buildup. Limited government, it follows them to Jamestown. In Jamestown, they have limited government. They add to it with representative government. Plymouth, Massachusetts, they have limited government and representative government. They're going to add to it with self-government. Now, technically, don't you love that word? Technically, were they supposed to have these things? The answer is, of course, no, they weren't supposed to do it. Nowhere did the king say they could. Does the king know they're doing it? Yes, the king does know. He knows that they have a representative government. He knows they signed the Mayflower Compact. But he doesn't stop them. Remember, Jamestown is sending money. You know, even the Puritans in Plymouth, they are getting things to the king, and so the king chooses to ignore them, and that is called salutary neglect. He chooses to ignore the fact that they are going to create their own government. He's like, okay, that's fine, whatever, I'm not going to stop you. Why does he choose to ignore them? Well, because he's too far. England is too far away for him to really stop them. He's also continuing to get his money. So he is like, that's fine. And he says, whatever is getting money. Sorry. The king is getting money right there. And so he said, that's fine. You can continue to do this little thing and have it. And so it's these things, this idea of limited government, representative government, and self-government that eventually, when we look at our timeline, are going to impact us into the American Revolution.